What are the different benefits when using film?
Film over digital?
Yeah, using film over digital, and like the different benefits between audio, picture, the general benefits of using film. If you think there are any.
I'm trying to think. The benefit of using film, I guess, it's a medium that people are used to seeing. They've seen it that way for decades. It's what they expect to see in a movie theater, and that's the real benefit of using film. It's also too it gives you a sense of history in terms of, you know, it's been 24 frames per second for decades. It's 24 frames per second here. It's, you know, Iran. You really get a sense of history using it.
Yeah. And for digital, what are the benefits over film, or just the general benefits?
Well, one of the benefits from the get-go is we really don't have to splice the film together. So we don't have mistakes in splicing. You don't have, you know, generally so far every single digital print has been 100%. We've had some goofs with the encryption keys, being able to access the hard file on the hard drive. But with film, we've had to send film back because it was just so screwed up by the time it got here. We had to ask for another print. Mm-hmm. The other issue we've had drop films where we have had to spend a week putting them back together. So you drop a hard drive and break it, they'd send you another hard drive next day. You drop a film, you can end up with a $2,000 fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with digital, you also have like the 3D and
right.
You're able to do like live streaming content and whatnot.
Right.
So
the other thing I would say, going back about the advantage of film too, though, is you don't have the expense. You don't have a huge upfront expense. The machinery's been the same since the 70s, so you don't have that expense, and you don't have now we're in the digital life cycle of products, where before the life cycle was decades. Yeah,
exactly. So now, comparing the differences between digital and film.
Viewing?
Yeah, just like the viewing of like the picture, the sound, like the difference between like digital sound and analog sound.
Supposedly, if the film is perfect, we're getting equal sound. Mm-hmm. The problem is the film isn't always perfect, so we often go from digital sound to analog sound, which means you're going from 7.1 to 5.0. You know, you're missing the surround sound basically. Again, the digital print is almost 100% all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now the consistency of when you play a movie on film, like the wear and tear versus digital, like what you get from like week 1 to week 10 for either of those.
Right. I think they say every 10 times there's an X% degradation in film. Mm. I think also in that movie Side by Side, you have the director saying, I know with the digital print, it's going to be exactly what I saw is what they're going to see. Mm-hmm. And with 35 millimeter, they're sometimes horrified when they go in to see how it's being shown in a movie theater, because of the difference between movie theaters and the print degradation.
Yeah, and I know sometimes colors can change,
scratches, all that.
Yep. And your own personal opinion, if you have a preference between film or digital?
I think right now, the fact that we don't have to deal with we're really basically a third-run house, so we're getting the film after hundreds and hundreds of showings, so we're not able to give the first-rate print viewing that digital gives us. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely pro-digital.
Yeah. Okay. Do you like that the studios are more or less forcing all theaters across the country to get rid of 35 millimeter film beyond the nostalgia factor?
It's a business. It's a business decision.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
That's they did take their time in making sure the quality was going to be good. Mm. But once they finally came to a solution, they said, all right, this is the way it's going to be. and if you know, it's digital or death.
Yeah.
And
which isn't too bad for the quality of viewing purposes.
No, but there's going to be lots of houses that will go out of business.
Yeah.
And that's too bad, but, you know, things change.
Yeah, I mean, from the movies to the talkies.
Right. So, do you want a Sony Walkman or an iPod?
Yeah, exactly.